Hi, welcome to Snow Better Lifestyle. If this is the first time you are seeing my face, my name is Donna. I turned 61 in March. I raised 6 kids ages 28 to 39 years old, and I work full-time remote for a tech company, and I started my health journey in November of 2023. I was 311 pounds, and as of this morning, I am 229 pounds. I've lost a total of 82 pounds. Last week I had gone up a pound. It was like 1.4 up, and this week it's around 4 pounds down. And I mentioned something about me reaching my minus 80 this week, and it was actually 82 pounds in total since my first appointment with my doctor back in November of 2023. And then in February of 2024, I got titrated up to 5 milligrams, and this will be week 60. I'm going to open up the box because I usually leave my pen out for about 15. So there's my finishing off another box, and it's really cold right now, so I usually wait about 15-20 minutes to go ahead and take my shot. So I'm going to do that as soon as I'm done recording today's video. Usually I'll get on the scale, excuse me, I will record my video and then I'll take my shot. And it helps to keep me consistent. Hello, Fuzzmeister. Hello, baby. You're such a good boy. Did you come over to visit mommy? Okay, so this week, like I said, down to 229. My first goal, well, that could be second or third actually. My first goal was get down to 250, and we did that a while ago, so that's good because I had pardon my neighbor. I had started at 311 and I got to 250. I have to go back and look. This is why I do the videos, because it helps me to go back, especially when I have weeks that aren't great or that I don't feel as good about my results for that week. Then I'll go back and look, oh yeah, I was such and such, and X amount of months ago. So this was a really good weight loss week, and I'm not sure if I didn't really do anything differently. I just lost 4 pounds this week. Last week, I gained a pound. So, yeah. All right. So, one of the reasons why I'm a little bit surprised that I lost this week, because I had some munchies, snackies this last week, and I just felt like maybe this wasn't going to be a weight loss week, but I was really good about my water. I made sure I had at least 3 40-ounce tumblers of water this week, every single day, so that came in handy. And pardon the ums today. I'm just trying to figure out what else to talk to you guys about. I had a really long one last week, so I'm spent. I talked so much last week. So I had some munchies and stuff, and I was starting to feel like, I've gone 60. It'll be the 60th shot on 5 milligrams. I had gone 60 weeks. 5 milligrams was working fine. I was still losing. So I don't know what it was this week. I just felt off. And then I got on the scale this morning, and I'm down to 229, which is under 230, which is 9 pounds away from being 100 pounds from my highest. So, yeah, 82 pounds total. And so now I feel better since I got on the scale and I'm down. But I did have a week where I was questioning it just a smidge, whether I need to titrate up. But I don't feel like I need to, because everything else is working out and I'm still losing. I'm just not losing every single week. I'm losing, gain, lose, gain. Maybe another lose, gain. So, as I've mentioned, it's not really consistent across the board. Okay, so yeah, I had some stress and munchies this week, but keeping track helped me a lot. I mentioned this in my last video. I will direct to it. I'll put it somewhere so you can go watch that video about why I track. And the tracking really helped me because I was at the very edge of my, what do you call it? Eating lower. Oh, being on deficit. I was on the very edge of being on deficit, which is fine because you're going to be more hungry when you're on a deficit. So I understand and get that. So that wasn't really an issue. So yeah, but I did feel some of those, the stress was making, I'm still worried about my job. I'm still waiting to see what's going to happen this next year. I haven't gotten my new contract, because usually every year they review and then they let you know what you're going to be doing and how much you're making and everything else. For us, it's in May. So I've been waiting for that, little stressed, little worried. And so when I do that, I'm not necessarily hungry or even craving anything, but my automatic reaction is to go look in the fridge or go look for something to snack on, even if I'm not hungry. And I think a lot of us go through that. And I had a lot of that this week. And again, I didn't feel like my meds weren't working, that the appetite suppressant or the food noise. I just think it was just an automatic thing that I tend to do that I'm still trying to break. So that was kind of this week. But then I got on the scale and I've lost 3-4 pounds. So who knows what was going on. But tracking it did help me cope. And part of it too is that I don't have anything in the house that would take me over. You know what I mean? That's got a lot of calories in it. I've got cottage cheese. I've got Greek yogurt. I've got fruit. I've got, everything, just about everything in this house is within the high protein, low carb space. So even if I'd gone a little bit overboard, which I don't think I would have because my meds are working to keep me from not eating too much. So yeah, I don't know. It was just weird, but I did lose the weight, so that's good. Also this week, I did start drinking protein coffees. Before that, I was just having one hot coffee in the morning with regular cream, sugar-free creamer and some stevia in it, and that was it. That was my coffee. And I had been wanting to try protein coffees, but I wasn't sure how to start. So I had bought some Dunkin' cold brew, and I have a whole bunch of those different flavored Premier protein ones, white chocolate raspberry, caramel, things like that. So I started drinking those, and it was kind of good because I'll have my one hot coffee in the morning before I start my work day. I will sit down, have my breakfast, have my breakfast, and then drink my coffee, and so I did in fact start drinking protein coffee, and I watch a lot of grocery, and they're really good. So that's going to be something I'm going to add. I was kind of worried that it might add too much to my daily, but it doesn't. I'm getting a little bit more protein, so that's a good thing. So I started making those and enjoying them. But I watch a lot of grocery hauls, and this week I saw somebody talking about these sweet leaf sweet drops. They're these little drops that you can put in your coffee, in your protein coffee. So I'm going to try that this week. I will let you know next week. I got a vanilla, a chocolate, and a caramel. So these look really good. So I'm going to try that this week. But I did start drinking the protein coffees. I don't know why I didn't do it before. I just wasn't doing it. Okay. I also updated my creamy recipe. I've been doing a bottle of protein drink, usually Fairlife, and a tablespoon of Jell-O pudding, and that's it. of sugar-free Jello pudding, and that's it. And it was good enough. But I watched a few videos of people making their creamies, and they put salt. They put salt, and they put guar gum. So I went and made a few creamies, and I added salt. The first one I made, I wound up putting too much guar gum. Don't put too much guar gum because my stomach was, so hurting for that following day. So yeah, the first time I probably put like a tablespoon of guar gum. Don't do that. And then the next one that I made, I just put like a quarter teaspoon, like a way, way, way less. And it was really good. And, so I've been experimenting more with the creamies. I will do a video on how to use the creamy, or if that's something you'd be interested in, I will show you what I do. It has come in handy for me on my weight loss journey, just because I don't buy the ice cream from the store anymore. I make my own. So I will show you sometime if that's what you want. The other thing that I've been eating a lot of, and I've mentioned this before, is pizza bowls. I just basically put a half a cup of cottage cheese, a half a cup of marinara sauce, whatever protein I have in the house. Like I have rotisserie chicken. I'll cut up the rotisserie chicken, put that in. The other day I put pineapple tidbits in, and then I'll put cheese on top of it, some kind of grated. I use like Italian grated cheese and some Italian spices, and stick it in the air fryer at 350 for like 10 minutes. And it's fantastic. Really good. So that's been one of the things that I've been doing that, it's pretty easy to put together, and it's tasty. And I'll stick the macros for it up here, and a picture of the one that I did this week. So that's been a real change to my usual what I eat. I'm trying to change it up a little bit, so that's been good. Okay, so the other thing I want to talk about real quick is why I stay at 5 milligrams and why I haven't titrated up. It's working. It's working. I mean, like I said, this last week I was kind of questioning it because some of the stress was affecting my looking for stuff. I wasn't hungry. And I know that, and it wasn't really food noise. It wasn't like I was thinking what I wanted, you know what I mean? Or thinking about lunch when I had just had breakfast. It was more like, I think because there wasn't a whole lot going on at work, so I would get bored, and so I would go open the fridge and look around, and there's nothing I wanted, and I would go sit down. So that was kind of concerning to me, but it doesn't look like it caused any kind of issue. I was just looking. But like I said, I'm on 5 milligrams because it brought my A1C from 10 to 5.7. Getting my blood work in the next couple weeks. I never did manage to make it this last Monday, but in the next 2 weeks or so, I'm going to go get my blood work, and we'll see if it's still keeping my A1C down to 5.7. It was 10 in November of 2023. It went down to 6.2, then it went down to 5.7. And we'll find out what it is in the next couple of weeks when I go to get blood work. Because those are the primary things, is that it's keeping my A1C under control, or my blood sugar under control. And I'm continuing to lose weight because I still have a long way to go. I'm at 229. And like we talked about last week, I'm shooting for 175. So yeah, I'm staying on it. I don't have, I have some side effects. Well, after I take my shot, I'm just a little tired, but I don't have the constipation or the diarrhea or any of the other things, unless I don't eat properly. Because one of the other things is that the medication, it helps. But I think there may be some misunderstanding that the medication actually causes the weight loss. It doesn't do it directly. What it does is it changes the food noise and it suppresses the appetite. So you eat less. So it indirectly does. But you'll have to eat the proper things and drink the water and do the exercise and all the things that you did before losing weight. But what I found, like I mentioned last week, I've lost 50 pounds multiple times, is that is what I needed. That was the extra step. That was the thing that took me from, okay, I'm going to follow Weight Watchers to the T for the next few months. I'm going to lose the 50 pounds, and then I would blow it and go back to eating the way I was. The way that I eat has become a regular thing. And so one of the things I was thinking about is, what would I do if I lost my job, lost my Mounjaro, lost my, I would have to have some sort of medication for both my high blood pressure and my type 2 diabetes. But would I be able to manage without Mounjaro? I don't know yet. It really did. Like I said, I didn't start recording anything on this channel until I got titrated up to 5. I had already taken 2.5. I've lost a few pounds. I wasn't taking it super serious. I wasn't making sure that I got my shot. I was just, and food-wise, I was changing some things, but not a whole lot. It wasn't until I moved to 5 milligrams I started to record, and I'll put that video so you can see the very first one that I did. And yeah, I really didn't take it seriously until I got 5 milligrams, and then I started recording. And, I've had a couple times when I've considered titrating up, but it was still doing the job for me. And for everybody, it's going to be different. You're not going to necessarily, 5 may not work for you. You may need 7.5. You may need 10. So go with, like I said, I've said this before, go with your gut, go with what your doctor says. Don't feel like you have to titrate up, but you can if you feel like you need it. One of my goals with being on 5 all this time is to stay as close to not being as dependent on the meds. I mean, I'm just afraid if I titrate up to a higher one that I'm going to be dependent on that particular amount. And it's doing the job at 5, and I'm going to continue to be on 5 as long as A1C is good, as long as I'm still losing weight, which I am, because I lost a few pounds this week. It goes back and forth. But at the same time as I'm taking the meds that's controlling my insulin, that's controlling a lot of things, I am re-educating myself on what foods and what portions and things like that are going to keep me on that straight and narrow. So yeah, I'm happy with the weight loss this week. I'm trying different things, different foods. Like I said, I'm starting to do a Profi. I don't think the Profi will replace my hot coffee in the morning. I like having that hot coffee in the morning, but about mid-afternoon, mid-morning, because I get up early and I usually have my coffee around 7 or so. So about mid-morning, around 10 or so, I have been starting to fill up my little glass tumbler with ice and putting some cold brew in it, and grabbing one of the multiple types of protein drinks I have in my fridge, putting some of that in to add a little protein, add some stevia sugar, and I'm going to try these and see how I like these, because there's caramel. I also have, my mom used to buy these all the time. These are the Turani flavored syrup. So I was thinking about trying that. I'm not putting flavored syrup in my water. I'm trying to keep my water just plain, not add anything to it. The three, what you call them, the 3 cups of water. It's just plain. I just don't want to get to the point where I depend on a flavor in order to get my water in. I used to hate water. I hated it. And but now I drink it just plain with ice. That's it. I set it next to me at the computer, pick it up, sip it, and I get 3 of those a day. But this I thought would be kind of neat, mint chocolate chip to put in a Profi. So I will try that. And I think, okay, so I guess my note here, I said the meds help, but they don't do it for you. So they're a tool, because I watched a couple videos this last week that was kind of interesting. It was a younger gal, I think she was maybe 30, and she was talking about how she didn't take Mounjaro or GLP-1 seriously, which is kind of what I did in the beginning. And she didn't change the way she ate. And one of the things I wanted to say, it doesn't do anything about your weight. Mounjaro does not do the actual weight loss. It doesn't cause the weight loss. What it does is it changes your mindset a little bit. It makes it so you don't have cravings, and it helps with appetite suppressant so that you don't eat portions that are too big. That's basically what it does. And it regulates my insulin because I am type 2 diabetic, because I'm on Mounjaro and Zepbound. It does the same thing, but normally you're not prescribed it for type 2 diabetes. It's a tool, but it depends on what you actually eat. And so for me, I'm using it to stay protein focused, to watch my portions, and I'm using Mounjaro to keep my T2D or my type 2 diabetes under control, and my blood pressure. It's brought my blood pressure down to normal. I had hypertensive, I was super high, and it's brought that down. So I consider that, but at the same time, it's helping with that one little thing that I was missing. And that was the food noise and the appetite suppression. And so keep that in mind, that you still have to change the way that you eat. Because people get upset when they say, yeah, I changed the way you eat, and if you move more and eat less. For some of us, the eat less part was virtually impossible, because we had little gremlins in our brain that were telling us, eat that entire pizza. Eat that entire burger. Oh, get a second burger. Have some fries. Oh, and then you need to have some ice cream to chase it down. So those are the things that this medication is doing for me. And at 5 milligrams, it's doing it just fine. So that's all I've got for this week. I hope you guys had a fantastic week. I had a great one. I lost, a few pounds. Don't know what next week's going to be like in terms of how much, but I'm still on track to losing a pound a week, like we talked about. And I'm really happy about that. So I think that's all I've got. That's all I got this week. So I hope you had a great one. Don't forget to hit like if you enjoyed the video. I think I may have repeated myself a couple times, so I apologize for that. And my hair is funky dunk. I couldn't do anything with my hair today, so it went straight up, which is what happens. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please hit like. Subscribe if you'd like to see more videos as I'm getting smaller. I am heading for 199. I've got 30 pounds now. 30 pounds. A year and something ago, I was 311 pounds. And my highest was 320. And we're getting close to 220 or 229. It's probably going to be, if I do a pound a week, it's going to be a few months before I'm down to 220. But it is happening. It's happening. We're getting closer and closer to that 199 and then 175. And I'm feeling 10 times better. 10 times better. So thanks for watching. Again, don't forget to like and hit subscribe if you aren't already subscribed. And thank you for those who are coming back over and over again. I love you. And have a great week. I will see you next Saturday. Okay, bye-bye.